Alola everyone, since it's now officially summer, I am still keeping cool from this heat wave. So for my next look at some of my favorite episodes of Pokemon Sun and Moon Ultra Legends, there are two parts, so I'm going to look at them both at the same time. Let's open the first part of the story, Alola Alola. We open the Pokemon Academy where everyone is getting a vacation, including a fireworks show to take part on Poni Island. Lana also announces that two guests are visiting that she's been writing to. It's Brock and Misty, the OG BFFs, as backed by popular demand. After the intro sequence, Brock decides to check a local Pokemon Center while Misty chides in with Bonnie and Nurse Joy. That changes when a chance to help arrives. Brock learns that Ham the young goose having trouble eating, and Ash decides to take Misty as friends out on the town. As Brock tends to young goose's injured jaw, Team Rocket is enjoying some honey with their nursemaid / bodyguard Beware when they get a call from HQ. On top of Persian, Meowth now has to contend with a Alolan form from a previous episode. I wonder how the new series will handle the Galarian Meowth. After getting off the line, they all lament they're not the villains they once were, even wondering if they'll be dredged out of their ranks and forced to summon Sadas full time. I do wonder that sometimes. I actually kind of like the idea of them and being redeemed and having a normal life. Elsewhere, the class partaking in Alola pancakes, which are the specialty of Nina and her husband, did finally catch along right to Pokemon Go and a rope made. I named it Pancakes. After partaking in the pancakes and Mori Island's bounty, courtesy of Auntie Anela, they visit a local shop where Lana views Corsola branches are worn as jewelry there, but to the shock of Misty's Corsola. That's dark, and this episode aired before Galarian Corsola and Cursula were introduced too. Ash and his classmates then head to the island visiting the first season of this anime. I've already looked at that before, so let's continue. I really love how this part worked in the Mantine surfing from the games. They'll head to the island. They're racing each other and pulling out some of the tricks from the games. Quite the fun and addictive bonus, if I'm being honest. Everyone reaches Treasure Island. While Team Rocket sets their plan in motion, Brock tends Young Goose's injured jaw while Joy is helping a Luxray. On the island, Ash shows Misty and his classmates lately visited when he was there last. However, Misty dislikes the boat types of the island. Those things never change, huh? Yeah. I mean, the Alolan Executor from before joined the others and lead them into a lake on the island. That's part of everyone playing in the water, especially as Misty discovers the Alolan articular, especially in their feet. Who knew? As the day winds down and the sun gets lower, Lana comes to visit Misty on the beach, bonding over their mutual appreciation of Alola. I rather like this scene with one specialist sharing experience with another. Just then, and Team Rocket attacks and tries to abscond with the Mantine in their latest Meowth Mecha, which is still being controlled by Meowth's movements like a Jaeger or a G Gundam. She sends out her beauty and steady Gyarados. Just love how livid she is interrupting their vacation. After freeing the Mantine, the combined strength of Mega Gyarados, Peter's Kickable Havoc, Marowak's Importer Overdrive, and Poplio's hard for to send them lastly off. Upon the return to Melemele Island, Ash meets discover Brock cooking dinner with the tent set up by the beach, marking what they're doing there together. Just love it, and it's only part one of the story. To be continued right now. We stay with our guests as for the next part of this two-part vacation, as everyone is having lunch and really enjoying Brock's cooking. It also turns out that Brock wants to see the call Island Kahuna, Olivia. It has a photo album of her, as Misty remarks of him examining on the plane right there. Taking a ride from the ride Pokemon under the Ultra Guardians, Brock also wants to see Kiawe's family farm, and they might just happen to run into Olivia. Very interesting plan, just like my one picking up Skyward Sword HD and getting a new Space Jam. Where Team Rocket is trying to rebuild what's left of their robot from before a nearby isle as everyone reaches Kiawe's farm. As Kiawe's little sister Mimo brings everyone some ice cream to sample, they hear a noise from inside the barn. It's a Kangaskhan. As Kiawe tries to draw a Pokeball, Brock realizes the child has been hurt. Brock is able to examine its inflamed leg and treat it without incident, with help of a comeback got from Nurse Joy. The child's leg thankfully isn't broken, and with that, the next step is finding Olivia. After a series of shenanigans when exploring the island, Brock and Olivia do meet. I actually love how the two are on the same wavelength of emotions. Not even the first time someone actually tried to reciprocate his advances, as Pike Queen Lucy from the Battle Frontier has been proven. The two have a battle between Sudowoodo and her made a Lycan Rock, and the result does a good job of showing off their skills. Team Rocket attacks in a newly rebuilt mecha, capturing most of those in the vicinity, but Brock and Olivia are able to fend off the robot with their combined strength in a Z move, Continental Crush. Crush on you! Everyone is freed, and Team Rocket is escorted back to their base by way of Beware and Stuffle, proclaiming they're off in the new blast. Fireworks show takes part that night, as with Brock, Miss and Olivia being special guests for that night. The show lights up the skies and reflects on their experiences of their vacation. And Cloud and Ash, Brock, and Misty reframing their goals, saying they won't forget this vacation most of their lives. I certainly won't forget it either. Though not quite on the same level of management as the last reunion, this two-parter is still one of my favorite episodes of this season and the anime overall. I'm glad to have shared my thoughts with you all over the past year or so. As the writers of the new anime have expressed interest in bringing back more characters in previous seasons, and using Iris, Gary, and the cast of this anime as a yardstick, I am very much open to seeing more continuing my look at the series over the next 6 months. Next up, my look at the series continues with the Poni Island Trials. That'll be all for now, and Alola.